Hello, Crackedy. How are you going?
I'm doing well, and thank you.
Forget speaking, I'm so excited to see you on my quiz show because you're my first guest for casting AOE4, and I'm sure that you got a lot of information about this game.
I know a couple of things. I'm not sure I know as much as Corvinus does, because that guy, he's really in that game. I still work my full-time job after Age of Empires, or before I play Age of Empires, so I don't have as much time. I try to absorb as much information as possible, so let's see, maybe I can do well here.
Yeah, also because I think it's more dependent on lucky also. Of course, information, how you knowledge, and lucky. And the podcasting, you're doing a very great job, I wanted to say it, and it's always pleasure to listen to you. And tell me please, how do you increase these casting skills? What are you doing for this?
I'm not 100% sure myself. It was kind of random how I got into casting in the first place. I remember I just felt like, hey, every now and then, I was in Discords all the time, and when there were these big tournaments happening, Golden League and the Pro League from Liverpool, all these big tournaments at the beginning of Age of Empires 4, I was in all of these Discords, and we're having watch parties, and every now and then I would cast for the people in those Discords. And one day I just asked, hey KP, can I cast with you together? And at that point I already kind of made my a little bit of a name for myself as being a top 100, top 50 player. Games of mine have been casted before, and yeah, KP actually was the first one to be like, yeah, sure, let's cast together. He gave me a chance, and then he recommended me to EGC, and that's the first time I got to cast on EGC, and pretty much that's where it all started.
Mm-hmm. So, by the way, you're doing a great job, and I think we can to see you and more in the next tournament. All right,
yeah,
so
great.
I wish you good luck because we are starting the quiz right now.
All right.
So, very quickly about rules. There will be 11 questions, you answering, and also per earn points. The maximum number of points you can earn just 22. And if you're ready, then we can start. So, the first question. Only Chinese and Juicy Legacy need 3 seconds to build a section of wooden wall. True or false?
Ooh, 3 seconds. I think it's 7 seconds normally. The game halves it, but doesn't really show decimal points. Now the question is, do they make it 3 or 4 seconds? It's quite fast, so
yeah, maybe
still gonna say
or just to Chinese.
Oh yeah. There's no other civilization that puts up walls as fast. So yeah, if it's about that, then I'd say it's true. It's true. Only Juji and Chinese build those walls in 3 seconds.
No another one. But you just mentioned maybe another one just exists.
I mean, Rus builds them quick, but Rus doesn't get really fast. No, I think it's still only China and Juji that built them really fast.
So, okay, I accept your answer. And it was false, because the Rus have the same time for build a wood wall.
Oh, really? I remember that they got buffed, and then buffed again. It's actually the same now. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't have the exact timing in my head.
And another tip, we need just 4 seconds.
Oh, okay, so it was actually 4 seconds per time. I had 7 seconds in my head. Okay, that's cool.
So the next question. Holy Empire Prelate gives a buff for 1 minute for villagers.
1 minute? I think it's only for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna say false.
So just 30 seconds and that's it. For villagers.
Yeah, wait, no, there's also Inspired Warriors.
Yeah, also, but right now about villagers.
About villagers. Yeah, I think it's false. I think it only lasts for 30 seconds.
Alright, so this is your final decision.
This is my final decision. I don't think it lasts an entire minute.
So, and unfortunately, it's true. 1 minute goes into the buffer for villagers.
This feels tricky. I feel like I'm getting tricked into these questions.
Yeah, I understand. It's always just under pressure when you write here, but when you watch the video in the site, it's always so easy. But when you answer it here, with the silence, and I'm asking the question, and you just need to answer just, oh, yes. But You have
Yeah,
a lot
in
of
the
time.
game it feels like the time passes so quickly. Like after 30 seconds, I usually feel like the buff already expired. But yeah, you're right. Like it takes like a Holy Roman Empire Prelate is able to inspire 8 villagers before the first
Yeah.
buff expires again. And yeah, I guess the cooldown's probably around like 3 seconds then. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's an entire minute.
Okay. So don't worry, maybe you have like with another question. And the question number 3. The resource capacity of villagers can reach 45. The maximum amount of resources which can to reach for villagers. Yeah, understand.
Yeah, okay, so an HRE villager, they get an additional 40%. On top of that, they get an additional 5 from wheelbarrow. Then there's boars and deer, which you can gather up to 25 from. So I would say that this is true.
The maximum is 45, but for what thieves do you think?
I would say HRE and just HRE and Order of the Dragons. But it's kind of funny because you get another 20% drop off with Shuji and China, but I don't think it reaches 45. It's like 20. You get like 30, and 30 plus 20% is like 36. So yeah, it should just be HRE and Order of the Dragons.
So I think it's true.
I would say it's true.
You just guess, or you maybe remember some.
I'm not sure about the exact numbers. The thing is, I never remember the game by the exact numbers. It's mostly like a kind of a feel question. I think it just about goes to like 42, and then I think 45 is probably possible. I'm thinking in my head right now, either it's 42 or 45. Yeah. 45 sounds realistic. Just doing the math again in my head, 25, 40%, and then another plus 5 on top of that. I think it's only 42 that HRE villagers gather. Okay, I'm gonna say it's false. I think it's a trick question. I think it's false.
All right, I accept your answer. And it was really a tricky question. You're right, and you even just named 42, the maximum amount of gathering resources for villagers, for Order of the Dragon, and from the deer and the boar. So you're right.
All right, okay. That was quite close. Like 42 and 45. That's not so realistic, and I don't have the game in front of me right now.
So, by the way, here you solved this tricky question, and we got 1 point. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The question number 4. Shaolin monk will beat the Rus Knight, all with feudal upgrade. True or false?
They got their ranged armor reduced, but that doesn't matter here. Rus Knight with all upgrades or with no upgrades? So Boyar's Fortitude
with
included?
All feudal upgrade.
All feudal upgrades, right. Okay. Wait, but that's a Castle Age unit, so it's a feudal age unit, so only it has 190 health in feudal age. In that case, I would say it's true. Like a Shaolin monk would probably beat a feudal age knight.
So Shaolin monk with his staff can to beat and destroy the Rus Knight, right?
Yeah, the Shaolin monk, I'm assuming, also gets at least feudal age upgrades.
Yes.
Yeah, then you should probably beat a feudal aged Rus Knight without Boyar's Fortitude.
Alright, so I propose to take a look in the video how it was and you was right or not. Alright? Alright, so Rus Knight just versus simple Shaolin monk with staff.
That's quite close.
Almost quite close for both of them.
Oh.
You was right. Shaolin monk defeat Rus Knight.
That was really, really close. But yeah, these monks, they're insanely strong.
Yeah, and they move it very quickly and with this hitting. Alright, well done. You earned another point. We got 2 points. The last question of this block. All crossbowmen has the same range attack, excluding Arboretum and Onamusha. And it was false, because the Gildan crossbowmen need just 6 tiles to get the target. So go on to the second block of questions. It's about classic type. 1 question and 4 possible answers.
Okay.
And for correct answer, you will get 2 points this time.
Right, time to make up for the early losses.
So the question number 6. Which of these units in the military school is better value, taking into account standard training time, cost, and military school training time, with blacksmith buff, and the options: Sipahi, Janissary, Spearman, or Lancer?
I say it's Janissary.
Quite quickly enter with an answer. Do you know about something value for military school?
The Janissary, I actually barely play Ottomans at all, but I know that the Janissaries, they cost 160 resource, and they have the same base research time that I think crossbowmen do. Crossbowmen have a value of 120 resources, so 160 resources in the same time as a normal unit for 120 resources. I think the Janissary should have the highest value there when it comes to production time. So I'm gonna guess that the Janissary probably has the highest value.
All right, so we accept so clearly our answer, and you're right. It was Janissary, and you get a lot of information like a really true caster, and you said, "Oh, I get not a lot of information." You just get a lot of mass. Janissary in count, it's 162 resources per minute. But in general, it's the most valuable unit is Mechter, 165. Here it is the best unit to do. But in on my list, it was Janissary, and you're right. You earned 2 points. Right now we got 5.
All right.
All right. So the next question. Which one of these statements is true? All feudal upgrades. Unit 6 Jungunu to one-shot 1 archer, and 13 archers to one-shot 1 Jungunu. Unit 7 Jungunu to one-shot 1 archer, and 12 archers to one-shot 1 Jungunu. Unit 7 Jungunu to one-shot 1 archer, and 14 archers to one-shot 1 Jungunu. And Unit 8 Jungunu to one-shot 1 archer, and 12 archers to one-shot 1 Jungunu.
Alright, so we got the options 6, 7, 7, and 8 Jugunu to one-shot 1 archer. A Jugunu does 9 damage with every attack. An archer has 70 health. So 70 divided by 9 we can take. Alright, but on the other hand side, 12 or 14 archers to one-shot 1 Jugunu. An archer does 5 base damage. Was it 5? It was 5 base damage. Jugunu, how much health does a Jugunu have? I think they have the same amount of health as an archer, else I would have probably taken... Yeah, I once made a list of like comparing Jugunu to archers, and I don't think I mentioned health at all. So I think they have the same amount of health, so in that case, it should be C. 7 Jugunu to one-shot 1 archer, and 14 archers to one-shot 1 Jugunu.
All right, I accept your answer. And you was wrong about Jungunu. You need 6 Jungunu to one-shot 1 archer. But you was right about 14 archers to one-shot 1 Jungunu. So it was A.
Okay.
So it was close, but yeah, little wrong.
Jugunu are a little bit stronger than I expected then.
Yeah,
I thought
they're
you need
stronger. It's right. All right, the next question. Which of these buildings has more attack range? Red Palace, Spaska Tower, Elsbeth Palace, or Castle of the Crow?
Okay. So the Red Palace has a base attack range of 10 tiles. The Spaskaya Tower has the cannon placements, which also has a range of 10 tiles. The Elsbach baseline doesn't have that. I think it only has like... Does it also? I think it also has like 10 tiles of range. But the Palace of the Crow, it's a Japanese keep, and the Japanese keeps have a little bit more range, if I recall correctly. Or at least like the rocket attack has... Like, it feels like it has a very, very long range, so I'm just gonna go based off feel here and say that the Castle of the Crow probably... Wait, does it have more? The attack looks like it goes very long, but that's also deceiving because it like there's a little bit of a delay and it follows. I think all keeps by default have 8 tiles of range, and I remember once again, like I compared the normal keep to the Japanese keeps, and I don't remember putting like the range as like one of the top traits of it. So I'm actually gonna say the Red Palace with the 10 tiles of default attack range is probably, since there's no Berkshire there. Yeah, I think it's the Red Palace actually.
All right, I accept your answer. And it was Red Palace with 10 tiles. How you said? You're right. You earn another 2 points. Congratulations. And Castle of the Crow has 8 attack range, like and other palace. Just Spassky Tower very close to the Red Palace with 9.5 attack range.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that it also has like the a buff to its attack range.
We got 7 points. It's very good. So, and before the third block of questions, I propose take a little break and chat a little bit.
All right.
And the first question, I wanted to know about your nickname, Crackedy. Why are you Crackedy?
It's a little bit unimaginative. So back when I first like started getting into gaming, I started playing with Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2. My dad showed me Age of Empires back then, and we were quite hyped for Age of Empires Online, actually, a game that where the servers don't actually exist anymore, but we both enjoyed it quite a lot. And yeah, for that you had to make a Games for Windows Live account, and with Microsoft, and they would actually randomly generate a name for you. So my randomly generated name back then was CrackPlayer142. And so it kind of already led into that direction, but as every 12-year-old at one point, I guess, wanted to like make an own YouTube channel and like upload Minecraft Let's Plays. Like, I think everybody was in that kind of phase at one point in time, like trying to make a YouTube content or something like that. I want to go for a name that was a little bit more grippy, a little bit more like easy to pronounce, and CrackPlayer142 probably wasn't there. So I looked for like a shorter, abbreviated version of that, and Crackedy just kind of came to mind there.
Cool. And the second question, if you could change one thing in the game Age of Empires 4, what it would be?
It would probably be a Siege rework. So one of the main things that I don't like in the game at the moment is like these kind of Springald fiestas, like how Springalds are also the best answer to other Springalds. So what I personally would change is that with like a single change, I think something that would have the most impact would be reducing the damage that Springalds or Culverins do to each other, just so that they're like it kind of feels like it's not part of the Age of Empires 4 game or like Age of Empires game design, like having a unit that also is the best answer to itself. So like reducing the damage that they do to each other to like kind of mitigate that would probably be a change that I would like to see in the game.
Okay, so we'll see about this. And the last question, tell us please how and when you decide to play AOE4. How I knew a little bit about you. You started, I think, playing World of Warcraft 10 years ago, where you started streaming. And why decide to stream and play AOE4?
So initially, like I played a lot of Age of Empires 2, the Definitive Edition, the HD Edition on Steam, and yeah, well, I was quite into that. I actually got a relatively high ranking in Age of Empires 2 as well. I never really played it competitively. It was mostly just for nostalgia and just playing that game, but I ended up having a couple of thousand hours in there as well. At the time Age of Empires 4 was announced, I was actively playing World of Warcraft, just like raiding, having fun there in the game, and I always knew that as soon as Age of Empires 4 comes out, I gotta play that just because I'm a really big fan of the Age of Empires series, and yeah, absolutely just loving Age of Empires. And yeah, when it finally came out, I got so hyped because I got invited to like the first technical test previews and stuff like that, managed to play it from the very beginning. There were some balance issues there in the very first like technical test. For example, like 10 Nest of Bees were able to completely destroy like 100 horsemen or 100 knights, and yeah, some things weren't really finalized, but still, I thought that the game was great, and I was very excited for it to come out. And yeah, just Age of Empires by heart is like one of my favorite series in the game, like in the gaming genre. So I was very hyped to play it.
Oh, so thank you so much for your answer. It's interesting. So, and we continue our quiz. And now combat video questions. For the correct answer, you will get 3 points.
Okay.
So, get ready. How many opposite horsemen can one gilded knight defeat? And the options: 5, 6, 7, or 8 opposite horsemen will be dead from one gilded knight.
Imperial upgrades.
Yes.
5, 6, 7, or 8 opposite horsemen. Gilded Knight. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head the stats of a Gilded Knight in Imperial Age. I think they have like something like 500 health. Okay, this is a little bit more of a guess.
Yeah.
I think it takes like 4 horsemen. I think it takes like 3 or 4 horsemen to kill a knight. So for one of these stronger knights, I'm gonna say it takes 7 opposite horsemen in order to kill a Gilded Knight when all of them have full upgrades.
And still survive, yeah?
And still survives, like 1 or 2 of them still surviving at the end of it. So the question is, how many does the Gilded Knight can kill? Like, what's the break-off point? Okay, the break point. In that case, I'm gonna say 6.
6, so quickly.
Yeah, because I think 7 can kill him. I think 6 probably can't kill him. So I'm gonna go with 6.
Alright, so let's take a look on the video. 5, 6, 7, or 8 horsemen. Your answer is 6. You can see, right?
Yeah, I can see that. All right.
Right.
There we go.
So, we can see. I think with 5 he handled, I think could be fine with him. But what about another one? About 8. Yeah, I think he's feeling not so great. So it's not totally 8 because he's died from the horseman. And the 7 killed.
7 killed him and 6.
So just left 5 and 6. 5 already have survived, and yes, we can just see 6 he can to kill it and stay survive.
All right.
You earned another 3 points. We're now good 10 points. So the next question about combat video question: how many mountain samurai are needed to destroy a secondary TC with 7 villagers inside? TC with stealth arrow upgrade, mountain samurai without toll upgrade. 4, 5, 6, 7 needed mountain samurai to destroy secondary TC with 7 villagers inside. And stay survive, of course.
Okay, there's no repair happening, so
yeah,
I
without
think...
repairing. So, and we trying to find the minimum number, right?
Yeah, the minimum amount of units that are able to kill the TC. I'm not even sure if 4... I think that 4 might actually be enough to take a TC down. Only has 2,500 health.
Just 4, it's going to be enough. So you just need to send 4 mountain samurai to destroy to the finish second TC.
I'm hesitant between 4 or 5. But we just had option B, so I kind of want to choose something else other than option B. But I think 6 might already be overkill. 4 armor, 3 damage goes through every time. That's 21 damage with every single volley from the TC. A mounted samurai has 230 health. Oh god, this is difficult to make the call here right now. I gotta say, I feel like 4 might already be enough. Like, once it starts burning, it goes down quite rapidly. But a 5 is like this kind of safe option. I'm gonna go with B again. I'm gonna go with 5 mounted samurai.
So, and your final decision, not 4. Have you said in the beginning?
Okay, no, I can't go B again. I'm gonna go C. I'm gonna go C. 6 mounted samurai. That's gonna be my answer. Final answer. No redo. 6 mounted samurai.
All right. So, and I accept your answer. Yes. So let's take a look at the video. 4, 5, 6, or 7. Your answer is 6. Mountain samurai need to destroy secondary TC. the 7 villagers inside.
Looks like it might have just been 4 that are enough, as I initially thought, but it's kind of crazy, isn't it? How few armored units you need in order to take a TC down. Yeah, it's gonna fire soon.
They're already completed 2 with second TC and 5 again TC.
It was 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you was really sure right in the beginning. It was your first answer too.
Yeah, I was quite sure that 4 are probably gonna be enough, but I don't know. You put the pronunciation on there's the first attack upgrade for the TC, and then suddenly it was like, oh god, why does that make a difference? But yeah, it was 4, but I was wrong there.
By the way, we stay here with 10 points. It's quite a lot. Right now, the last question, without no answer option, just with your thoughts.
I'm ready.
And also, you get to earn 5 points for correct answer. Right?
Okay.
What is the maximum number of points Jean can gain for killing 1 unit? And what unit it is? So you need to give me 2 answers. 1, the name of unit. Second, the maximum number of points. Length of 15 points. So if it is going to be close to this, I can name it like a correct answer. And for correct name, you will earn 2 points for another 3 points.
Okay, I think the maximum would be a wonder. Destroying a wonder should give Jeanne d'Arc the maximum amount of experience, since it's 10. It's 1 experience for every 10 resources of value. I haven't tested it out, so this is a little bit of a gamble, but I think Jeanne d'Arc probably gets the maximum amount of experience from destroying a wonder if it's implemented in that way in the game. When it comes to units, it would probably be the Hugh Pow Trebuchet, since I think the game values that unit at 1100 resources. I don't think there's another unit that's worth more than 1100 resources in the game right now. Elephants cap out at 1000. I think the Sultan's Tower Elephant is also capped out at 1000. Other than that, like a Castle Age, like an Imperial Age landmark should be 240 experience. Castle Age landmark should be 180 experience. Yeah, units, I would say Hugh Pow Trebuchet. The Byzantine Hugh Pow Trebuchet, where you pay, I think it was 1,100 olive oil for it, for a total of 110 experience.
So your answer, unit, Hugh Pow from Byzantines, right?
Yeah.
And about maximum of points, 110?
Yeah.
110. All right.
Oh, wait. How much is... Oh, no, the Abbasid... The Ayyubids. The Ayyubids, they get the tower. They get the Sultan's Tower. That's another unit which... Oh, I don't know how much it costs a tower. Was the tower expensive? Don't know. I'm gonna stick with the Hugh Pow Trebuchet. I think it's too late to change my mind.
All right. So again, Hugh Pow and 110.
Yes.
And I remind you, allowance of 50 points. So for the mistake.
Okay.
All right. So the answer it was Great Bombarder from Ottoman.
Oh, no.
The units you forgot, so the more huge units.
I don't play Ottomans. Oh god. Yeah, you're right.
With 125, but a balance of 15 points, you said it's 110. So I can still name it like correct answered, and it will earn just 3 points. Just was incorrect with unit. For the Hugh Pow, you can earn 100 points for the Jeanne d'Arc. So congratulations to you in the general 13 points, like Lucifron.
That's great. I won on par with Lucifron, at least in one regard.
No, it's very nice. It's very nice. I love how you discussing about all the mathematica inside of your head.
Unfortunately, with the Jugunu, my math was kind of wrong there. I wasn't sure if it's 6 or 7. I didn't fully do the math. Yeah, it's like 6 times 3 times. times 3 again.
All right. In the end, I have a little Blitz for you. You can answer briefly or extensively if you want. All right?
All right.
So, your favorite Civ?
My favorite Civ, at the moment, it probably has to be Japan.
Japan. I think maybe Byzantines. You played a lot of more like Byzantines.
I like Byzantines and Japan pretty much equally, but the thing with Japanese is I think they have a lot more, they fit my own playstyle a lot more. Byzantines I like for the theme, I like for the different strategies, but Japanese they kind of just fit my playstyle more of like only melee infantry. That I really just love spamming melee infantry, and Japanese kind of allow that kind of gameplay to take place.
It's true. Your least favorite Civ? Play against?
To play against, probably Jeanne d'Arc. I think playing against Jeanne d'Arc is just very boring because it first forces you to turtle a lot, and that's probably just not a lot of fun for either player involved in the end.
The most spectacular matchup between which Civ? Like caster.
By default, I think the most interesting matchup in the game probably has to be between Delhi and China. Because it used to be very China favored, but ever since Delhi got a lot of buffs with the Ghazi Raider and some other double buffs with the Dome of Fate, it switched a lot in my opinion to like a 50-50, and now it's like very balanced where Delhi has these like really solid timings against China. It reminds me actually of a game that we saw during the EGC finals with Lucifron versus Marine Lord on Hill and Dale, and yeah, I feel like Delhi used to be very weak against China. Now it kind of feels like it's very much up to the player. Very much up to the player, and both civilizations stand great chances against each other. I think it's one of the most balanced matchups at the moment.
What about between players?
Between players, I really enjoyed the series that we had, when was it? It was before Call to Arms, with Marine Lord vs. Spee. Other than that, really interesting series are typically when we see Beastie versus Lucifron. Those are also very exciting to watch.
Who is the most fun to cast with? Your favorite co-caster? You have it?
Has to be Depson. Has to be Dr. Depson, yeah. I think we get a very good synergy between each other when it comes to casting our games, and yeah, it's awesome to cast together with him.
Yeah, he's quite friendly, and you are a couple very good for the caster. It's true. We were voting for AGT Final 2023, if we're honest.
In the EGC finals, it was insane when I watched B versus Vortex. Absolutely insane. I gotta say, I was rooting for B a little bit in those, just because Vortex, he always smashes me on the ladder. He always beats me in like the most cruel kind of ways with the most insane ram timing pushes, where I think, oh man, that should never work. And I really just wanted to like B to find a way to deal with that. And yeah, I think I was rooting a little bit for B. Other than B, it would probably have to be Lucifron and Vortex. Puppy Paw as well.
The best game in the world, in your opinion? Do you have it?
The best game in the world. Back in the day, I probably would have said something like Age of Empires Online. Because I really enjoyed that game. I think it was devastating that it wasn't as successful and that they had to turn the service off, and just kind of the approach that they did with the monetizations there were kind of awful. Overall, though, the game that I think is the best in the world right now, RTS-wise, definitely has to be Age of Empires 4 as well, I gotta say, because it's so many great changes. Like, the new expansion has been absolutely great. I hope, or I wish for the future, that developers are a little bit more quick when it comes to updates, a little bit more active when it comes to receiving community feedback, and just something that I would personally love to have again. Something that we did have at the beginning of Age of Empires 4 were like these developer live streams where they go over, or like maybe they play a game in the background and just talk over the things that they do and their kind of thought process on the game. Something like that would be absolutely amazing to have again, and just like active conversation with the developers, with the dev team, with the balance team, and yeah, just having them in the like more integrate into the community.
Streaming, casting, or your sport? Put them ascend in order.
I think it has to be esport lowest, then casting, then streaming myself. I don't think personally I never really consider myself to be a pro player. I think I'm competitive in playing, but never really on like a professional level. Just the time doesn't allow for that.
Yes, you need a lot of time for this. It's true.
Yeah, casting is obviously also very nice, but I also just enjoy playing the game. I'm putting streaming on a similar level as just playing and enjoying the game myself, because when I play, then I might as well just stream the game. So yeah, I think in that kind of order, I put like playing the game myself, enjoying it, streaming it. That's the highest. Casting also a lot of fun. I put that right after that. Esport, I don't put as much as a focus on for myself, so that's in third place.
All right. Your prediction: how many S-tier tournaments will be the next year?
I'm gonna guess that we're probably gonna be seeing 6 or 7 S-tier tournaments in the next year. EGC has announced that there's going to be at least 3 tournaments, and I think with how great Age of Empires has been doing, and I think Microsoft kind of realizes that, so they might put enough in there to have all of them be S-tier just for like the first half of the year. Then I hope we're going to be getting another Red Bull.
Oh yeah,
that would be amazing. Another one in Heidelberg, and yeah, I think in between, there's probably enough space for another 2 to 3 S-tier tournaments. So I think it would be very cool if we get like 7 S-tier tournaments. That's what I'm going to be hoping for. Could be possible.
Well, I believe it's coming true. Interesting fact about Crackedy.
Interesting facts about me. That's where it's getting difficult. I don't really think there's a lot of interesting things about me. I got a cat. That's probably one of the more interesting things here about me.
Show it in the stream, or you show on the stream the cat.
I can show him in the stream just a sec.
Yeah, let's go.
And there he is, right in the back there on the couch.
Oh, what's his name?
His name's Walkridge. He's just over there, chillaxing, sleeping.
Oh my god, so cool. So, and the last question, my favorite. Which Age of Empires 4 unit you are?
Okay, that's gonna be a tough one. Which Age of Empires 4 unit am I?
Japanese.
From the Japanese, I would probably have to be the Uma Bannerman.
Oh.
I love the rushing the Uma Bannerman up really, really early in the game. Just because it's like a knight, it's a little bit stronger than a normal knight, and just having one out on the field allows you to like do a lot of pressure to the opponent early on, keep them on their back foot, and yeah, I really like that strategy. So I'm gonna say the Uma Bannerman.
So Crackedy, I remind you, you earned 13 points. It's quite a very high point for my quiz show. Congratulations, and I hope you had a wonderful time and just enjoy. Maybe you're just know some information from my quiz.
Definitely some new things as well. There were some really, really tricky questions. The 42 gathering, like maximum gather capacity, and the 45.
Yeah.
There were some really tricky questions. Thank you as well, like just for hosting and having me on here. It's been quite a lot of fun.
So, and thank you too. Bye.
See ya. Have a good one.